Hey guys, John Engel here, and today I'm going to do some touch-up work on my Jaguar. This is not going to go well. I'll show you a clip of what I've done before. Light, because you're not trying to repaint the whole vehicle. You're just trying to get a nice top coat on there. And the last thing you want are runs. Like I said, we are professional, so we're not going for runs. Let's get that little piece right there. My exhaust tip got a little bit on there, but that's okay. Man, this is looking brand new already. All right, seeing that we're gonna get started, the first thing to do is make sure you have everything needed. I've got alcohol, paper towel, a rag. I've got the paint. It came up from Touch Up Express. It's supposed to be the exact color of this car, which I thought was British Racing Green. Actually turns out to be Jaguar Racing Green Metallic. So it's good that I checked the VIN and made sure that you get the right color paint. Obviously, that will make for a better finished product. I've got rubber gloves just so I can keep beautiful and pristine. And I guess the first thing that we need to do is get started. So let's take a look at the area on this car that needs to be touched up. So you can see the area that needs to be touched up, and most likely it was a grocery cart or something like that that did this damage, because it's not too bad. The worst part is that the fiberglass underneath has a white primer to it, which really shows up against that dark green. So we're going to touch this up and see what we can do to make it look better. Now this is not going to be a factory finish. You can take it to people that do what they consider like paintless dent repair, and they can actually airbrush this to make it look very smooth and to do a professional job. For me, I just want it so that when someone parks behind me, they don't see all this white, so it just won't be as noticeable. First thing that we want to do is clean it off with alcohol. This will remove all contaminants, and it will also remove any wax that would be on there that would keep the paint from adhering. So we've got to make sure that we've got a clean surface that we're going to be painting on. And I think that will do. Look at that. Already that is beautimous. I'm going to go ahead and put on my gloves just to try to keep some of the paint off of me. I'm going to make sure that I shake it up, and especially because this is a metallic, it's got lots of little flake in there, so I want to make sure it's as evenly dispersed as possible. Give that a good shake. All right, so that should be good, and I'm going to open this up for you so you can see what it's going to look like. And I've got a rag with me just to keep the mess off of the concrete floor. Ooh, this is messy too. All right, so now you can see this wonderful Jaguar metallic. And we're gonna use that. I'm just gonna set it over here on a rag. I've got this wonderful, and look, I've already got paint on me. I've got this wonderful little paintbrush that came with the paint, and these are really great because they really are a fine tip so that I can just apply it where I want it. And seeing that I'm not gonna be doing this like the color dot where you actually dot it in, I'm going to be painting it on. This is gonna work out perfectly. So let's see how this goes. And on the lid, there's actually enough in there that I can start taking it and using it. Now if you notice, that one's got a little run to it, so I will use my paper towel, and I might have to put more than one coat on there because I don't want runs in my paint. So I'll just use a little bit of that alcohol spot and let it absorb. All right. Now, you will notice that I took a little bit of the paint off, and that's okay because I can go back over with a second coat to keep making these darker. The one that I did over here right there looks amazing already, so I've learned not to put as much on and just try to do it as thin layers as possible. And I probably will end up now doing these in 2 coats because I can see that with 1 coat, just not enough in there. All right, that'll be our first coat, so I'm going to let that dry for a few minutes and then I'll come back and keep adding more. I've let that first coat dry for a little bit, and now I'm going to put a second coat on here and see how well this is going to work. getting hot out here. By no means do I think that this is a Rembrandt or a Picasso or anything like that. However, let's look at the before and after. And you've got to admit, it makes it look better. I'm not looking for a perfect bumper. I know it's going to get nicks, dings, scratch, and dents, but this makes it, at least when you're parked next to it, your eye won't be drawn to that dark bumper with the white showing through. I've got a few other spots on the car that could use a little touch-up, so I'm going to do those now. So after I did the rear, I looked at the front and saw a bunch of little chips, and I said, you know what? This is the time to do it. If you're here, you might as well. So now I am also cleaning a lot of the front chips with alcohol. And I'm just going to touch them up real quick. And it's going to make a difference. Not a big difference. But you know, I take pride. It's amazing how you do not realize how many nicks and chips a car gets until you start looking for them on the front. And what I would suggest is to never start looking for them, because once you see them, you can never unsee them. That's a little loose. These should go very easily. Whew, got a little hot out here. But the good thing is, for the most part, it looks 100% better. And these are the little things that you can do yourselves that don't take a lot of money, a lot of time, or a lot of experience, and it just makes a big difference. Anyway, now that I'm truly done, make sure you like, subscribe, and comment, and we'll catch you next time.